Hi everyone, it's Lori here from the Warren team in Ottawa. The April results just came out and I thought it was worthwhile to send you a little video to talk to you about a couple of the points that we've been saying for the last couple of months, really, because the numbers are showing what we could actually feel in the market. Obviously the sales transactions are down from last year at the same time. That was to be expected. They're down 18% for freeholds and 29% for condominiums. However, that was like a banner year where 2 years worth of buyers were purchasing last year. So we're back to a little bit more of a normal rate. But the really important thing here is that we're not getting as many new listings even from last year. So our inventory levels are not keeping pace with the amount of buyers that are demanding to purchase a property now. So when that happens, supply and demand starts to kick in. And I want to tell you that the average prices for the last 4 months, December, January, February, and March, the prices have increased almost 13% in 4 months. And just from March to April, there's been a 5% increase. So we've been saying that, the last 6 months, that it was a good time to be out. There were buyer opportunities out there because the prices had bottomed out, and that they were going to go back up. And sure enough, that's exactly what's been happening month over month. So I won't say it's like last year. We had 20-30% increases from month to month at times. However, I think a 13% increase from December to now is pretty significant, and it certainly can impact your affordability. So from March to April, we had a 5% increase in the average sale price. Okay. What I'd also like to say is that the average price for a freehold is $747 in April. It is a decrease from 2022, yes, but it's an increase from January, February, and March of this year. So prices are starting to creep back up. And the average price for a condominium is $436,000, which is a 4% gain over March 2023. With average prices being at year to date at $718,000 for freehold and $422 for condos. That's a 13% decrease from 22, but we're still seeing an increase this year. Okay, I hope I'm not confusing things. Anyway, there is an upward pressure on prices because of the lack of inventory. We are starting to see multiple offers happening, not in every neighborhood, but it is certainly happening. The days on the market is improving, so less time on the market. Now, this is very neighborhood dependent. There's definitely areas that have not started to see this yet, but like it happened before when we were lacking inventory, as there's a lack of inventory, you're going to find that the buyers are going to be willing to compromise on location, and so that will spread throughout the city. And so please be aware of that as we go. So multiple offers, days on the market is getting lower. The really interesting thing to me is that April we had 25% less new listings come on the market compared to last year, April. So if you remember last year, the first 4 months, it was just a critical lack of inventory. And the fact that we have 25% less new listings in April this year versus last year should really have, the hair standing up on your arms. Okay. So the 5-year average for new listings in April is about 2,600. And this year we had 2,100. So that is quite significant. The months of inventory, which is how many months with the rate of sale that's going on right now, how many months will it take for all the inventory, if we didn't get anything else new on the market, to disappear? And so we also look at that. And if you are around 4 months of supply, that's considered a balanced market. Over that is a buyer's market, and below that is a seller's market. Obviously, last year we were in a seller's market. Late fall, over the winter, we were really more of a balanced market. We are now in a seller's market again. And the months of inventory for Freehold is at 1.9 months of supply versus last year at 0.9. So yes, it's double from last year, but when you consider that March was 2.3 months of supply and now we're at 1.9, you can see where this is heading. Prices are going up, inventory is going down, supply and demand comes into play again. Okay, now we look at months of supply by neighborhood. So the months of supply may be very different in Rockland than it is in the Glebe. Okay, so it is neighborhood dependent. So the other thing is for condominiums, the month of supply is increased to 1.9 from 0.8 in April last year, but it's also down from 2.1 in March. So the trends are changing. The bottom has leveled out and now we're heading up. So it's really important that you understand that. If you're sitting on the fence, time to get off the fence. If you have questions about it, Michael Martin and I would be more than happy to talk to you about it. Days on the market in the month of April. I look at the cumulative days on the market because some people will cancel and relist a listing to make it fresh again, but it's still been on the market. It doesn't, go back to zero. So I look at the cumulative days on the market, and cumulative days on the market for residential is 40 days. So on average right now it's taking about 40 days for a home to sell, 47 for a condominium. Last year it was 11 and 14. So obviously it's taking a lot longer than it did last year, but 40 days is still, a really reasonable period of time. And that's an average because we are seeing things sell on day one in multiple offers, day two. The market is definitely picking up an awful lot. It's really quite strong out there, depending on your area. The other thing I want to mention to you is mortgage rates have gone up, of course. They've stabilized, you guys. They're not expected to go up. We had the last Bank of Canada. They made no changes to it. So that's sort of bottomed out as well. And there are, some reasonable rates out there. So you should check with us or a mortgage broker to see, what the rates are. But with that, there's been a change in how much people can afford. So the most popular price ranges when it comes to condominiums is between 300 and 500,000, which makes sense. It's also the place where there's going to be a lot more competition, just an FYI. And where, we were looking at last year, 800 to a million, even 1.1 was, where the significant amount of the market was playing. This year, they're playing in the $600,000 to $800,000 range, which makes sense too. As the mortgage rates went up, affordability went down a little bit, so expectations have changed and where people are purchasing has changed. So 300 to 500 for condos and 600 to 800 for freehold is kind of where it's at. Healthy market. There's lots of signs out there. We had a very, very healthy April, and we're very thankful to our clients for the referrals that they had given us, and we were very successful in multiple offers for our clients. You're not seeing like 100, 200,000 over asking, but you got to be competitive and strategic, and we've been really successful for everyone that we helped in April. So if you have questions, you need some help, we feel that we're the people that can help you, and we're always open to a real estate chat. No pressure at all, but we wanted to make sure that you knew what was going on. So things are looking up. Supply and demand is looking, supply's down, demand is up. So obviously prices are starting to creep up. So, we were thinking that a 5% increase for the year is what we were looking at, but we had a 5% increase from March to April. So hang in there, come and join us. It's lots of fun. It's not as bad as it was. We're still getting some offers through doing home inspections and that sort of thing. So call us so we can just have a little chat about the whole thing and you can see if it's time for you. Have a great day. Michael Martin and I are here for you anytime. Take care.